Before we begin, I want to thank all of my patrons today because it is the first of the month. We are still over the Beast Wars milestone, which means I am now locked in to do seasons 2 and 3 of Beast Wars for my daily reviews. So thank you guys very much for keeping me at that level. Next up is Beast Machines. It's the next tier up. It's a little bit higher, but for those who really want to force me to watch that show again, you can do so over at patreon.com/TJOmega for just $1 or $2 a month. Thank you guys so much for that. Oh, and by the way, if you're waiting for your name in the credits at the end of the video, give it a few days for Patreon to kind of shake its system out and like put the final put all my patrons back where they're supposed to go because it loses track. So give it about a week and the outro will update. So today, I am browsing LuckyDrawTransformers.com, which is a subsidy, or I guess a spin-off site from Transformers at the Moon, and I thank them very much for allowing me to use their galleries for this video. I wanted to do something on Lucky Draw Transformers, which is not something you hear about much anymore. It's something they used to do as promotional campaign in Japan. You would either spend a certain amount on Transformers and get an entry card, or they'd be included with the packaging. Sometimes you got scratch-off tickets. Sometimes it was a mail-away in a magazine. Whatever it was, it was basically a system of giveaways where they would provide exceedingly rare versions of certain Transformer toys. Typically, this took the form of all chrome figures, but there's also plenty of variety out there. So these ran somewhere between Beast Wars and I think the latest examples I have are like animated movie 2, movie 3, no, maybe not movie 3. So you can see they didn't last for a terribly long time, but they are among some of the rarest and most sought-after Transformers by collectors. This website, which you'll excuse me, it's an old website, so the layout is going to be like really weird and blocked, and I apologize. Actually, I should have thought of that. I mean, let's go over here, shall we? And can I do something about this? Yes, I can. Boom! Alright, now let's talk about this website. As you can see, it is just a simple gallery website. It's pretty old, so it's very small and not optimized, but hey, it still works and still provides a valuable resource. So for instance, here's a typical example. Here's Beast Wars Megatron done up in gold chrome. The website is good enough to list time, confirmed release, etc., how it was released if the information was available, and quantity that exists. This is the big important thing with Lucky Draws because it can vary. It's always an exceedingly small run. As you can see, for the gold Megatron, only 3 exist. That's pretty special. And you can see all gold T-Rex. Actually, it looks really good in the gold. I will say that. Don't let Megatron say I said that. Now, if this kind of color scheme looks familiar to you, then you probably saw the more recent releases from Takara that was based on the Electrum color scheme. They did a whole run of those, which is basically mass release Lucky Draw style figures, gold plastic and gold chrome wherever they could put it. Similar, then it was basically mass release Lucky Draw style figures. So a good way of actually getting one if you'd never actually experienced. But this is just an idea. This is one of the oldest examples. Like I said, they kind of started first year Beast Wars. So let's just move on. Let's see a few other gold chrome ones in general. Here's a nice comparison between what they look like. Here is Master Megatron in Japan. Plain old Megatron to us. You can see how it works. The softer plastics are using the softer plastics as well as the palm plastic for the heavy friction parts are done with a more solid gold that somewhat matches, but it is not quite, they can't chrome that stuff, obviously. It is literally just everything on the toy that was just straight ABS, all of that got chromed, whether it made sense or not. You imagine You imagine like the nerves it takes to transform one of these things with all those moving parts scraping together. You'd have to be so careful not to damage the chrome on one of these things, because these things are like practically priceless. Here's only 16 are known to exist. So 15 prizes in a draw campaign run by TV Magazine, along with its gold Megalo Convoy, was also offered. Later used by Takarto as one of many prizes in campaign run through their website. Only one additional toy was offered. Whew. Yeah, so sometimes, so that's a rare example of a website entry. And again, a magazine entry. Normally these are store campaigns, as it's mentioned here. All right, next up. Gold is not your only option. Here in animated, we got a gold chrome Bumblebee, and we'll show it with a silver chromed Bumblebee with a gold chromed Optimus Prime. Why the yellow character is in silver chrome, I don't know. That seems like a missed opportunity. As far as I know, it wasn't done in gold either. You can see the comparison between the two. I mean, they're meant to look like trophies, because that's essentially what they are. Like, congratulations, you won. This is a forgotten era. This is not something, like, I kind of wish they did these still. I understand why they don't. Production costs, etc. But still. But chrome is not our only option here. We can do multicolored chrome. Here's Primus. And yes, it looks like G1 Rodimus Prime. It is G1 Rodimus Prime, but all gold chrome in the vehicle mode. And let's see if I get a shot of the robot mode. Red chrome as well. So it basically just looks like Rodimus blinged out. This says a lot, right? Like, is Rodimus the chosen one because Primus made him in his own image? How biblical. But this is one of the more famous ones, I believe. Like, this one I see floating around. A lot of people remember this one. Let's see some that are not chrome. How about that? Because Lucky Draw did other colors too. Here is, limited to 30, a blue Beast Wars Optimus, which I think looks quite fetching in that pale metallic blue. I will tell TF at the Moon, they failed me in not having a comparison pick with Baboom, because it just looks like this is straight up Baboom's colors on Primal. But it looks good, though. I actually kind of like how this looks. They did a few weird color schemes with the Beast Wars cast, but I think this is one of my favorite ones. All right, how about Energon Megatron in black and red? How cool does this look? Like, it rocking my official colors, by the way. This is the kind of thing that I would have loved to have. Like, the gold chrome ones don't really interest me. It is like stuff like this. Like, look how amazing that looks. That looks so good. That looks so good. He looks so menacing in those colors. And keep in mind, what's the number on this? 50. Only 50 of these exist in the world. They'll never own this. I will never own this. Most likely you will never own this. Unless TF at the Moon is watching this video, in which case you probably still own all of these. Here's another famous one. So this is the Lio Convoy, the Galva Lio Convoy, which FunPub later homaged with one of their releases, done up with matching color schemes to Galvatron. This shows not every single evil convoy is done in black and blue. Sometimes they're done in black and purple. I like this color scheme better, though. This actually looks cool. Let's see, who else we got here? Ooh, okay. So this was fun. So it's Flame Convoy, a.k.a. Cybertron Scourge. This is the Skylynx version. The color scheme is literally based on Skylynx. Now, we can take a look at him. Like, he obviously looks nothing like Skylynx. He's just in the color scheme. Now, but I think fans took to this immediately because it looks good. Like, it actually looks really good. Like it doesn't even need to be like, oh, you don't even need to pick it apart because it's not close to Skylynx. You just need to appreciate the fact that the metallic blues and silvers look so nice together on this mold. That's all that really counts here. This is one of the most popular ones, I feel like. This is the one I think fans went nuts over the most. And at 50, there's like a slight version you might actually run across one of these. Okay, so if you want to know what Ravage would have looked like in Beast Machines, here is your answer. This is a black Cheetahs. And yeah, it's about as close as you are going to get. Perfect Choice Digital Orders released a toy version of Beast Wars Returns Cheetahs, toy which fans dubbed Perfect Choice Cheetahs. And yeah, this is also one of the most popular ones. Never mind that the toy itself, the base toy, is awful. I think the people just really went nuts over it because it just looks like super good in that color scheme. And of course, like, it's black and silver. It's going to look good. And yeah, it's very Ravage, which is always going to be popular. Here's one that's interesting to me because they almost released something similar to this in America, but not as this toy. Armada Optimus Prime in a very, like, in more black and more, like, military green. It reminds me very much, you can see all the black in the vehicle mode. It reminds me very much of a Energon Megatron they were going to release in America in these colors that got nixed at the last minute, so we never actually saw it hit retail. But I find it interesting that there is a lucky draw of his previous form to match. Whether they were based on each other, I have no idea, but precedent exists, and I still think this looks super cool. All right, here's a famous one. There's only 10 of them in existence, but this one is pretty well known. This is the Green Unicron, based on the Minicons and Armada banding together to form this energy duplicate of Unicron to fight off with him. Right. Mail-away competition held in 2003, Micron Legend Yearbook. The book was released toward the end of the competition. Was open until May 31st, same year. It's believed the winners were drawn in October of that year. That's a lot of that's like a lot of finite detail that is being listed here. Like, this is, yeah, it's super, super interesting to me that they know so many small details of how this toy was released and offered. So yeah, it is essentially what it looks like. Everything they could make green, they made green. I don't know, though I'm not sure why they left like the ring and all that gray. It feels like this could have been all green if they really wanted to. Looks good, and I mean, you're gonna color a toy green, I'm gonna be interested in it. Let's see. Oh, that's Cheetahs again. Let's move on to something better. Oh, this is a beautiful set. This is a beautiful set. So it is Fire Convoy in gold and red. Again, this is one I think is really popular and is pretty easy to see. Also pretty easy to obtain because they did 3 runs of this figure with, let's see, so yeah, you can see the detailing of how many times. They released this toy 5 times, and the estimate for total release was actually 450. So as lucky draws go, this is probably one of the most common ones to find. But it should also be one of the most desirable ones because it just looks so, so good. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. Now, what is different, however, is aside from this, you know, beautiful coloring of black and red and gold, there's also a Magnus to go with it. There is a black and gold Magnus to match. Now, in contrast to Fire Convoy, God Magnus here was only released in 10 numbers. Only 10 of them exist, so you would have to be absolutely insane to actually be able to see the God Fire Convoy in black and gold. Fortunately, I am looking at an insane person's website. Look at this! Look at how amazing this thing looks. That is just like perfection. That is absolute perfection. So, so pretty. So, so unobtainable. It will never be. You will never own this. You will never own this. You would have to, like, again, if you're TF at the Moon, obviously you own this. But if you are anyone else, even if you manage to spend the money to get Fire Convoy, to then go and find God Magnus available, no. This is unobtainable. But it's amazing that they managed to get a hold... Oh, that's the magazine picture. But it's amazing they managed to get a hold of both. So we actually got to see what the two looked like together. That is a super special thing that we don't often get. And there's one last category we're going to cover really quick, and that is coloring contests, where they would let kids color in, very small example pictures here, color in their own color scheme for certain Transformer toys, and they would actually make it. That's actually super cool. And sometimes the results are kind of weird. So, yeah, random purple chrome, this beige yellow, grays and reds. It's a weird color scheme. This isn't even the weirdest one. This is just the one that had the best pictures. But if we get into if we get into the combined mode, now we can see some weird colors going on. At least it's got matching blue boots. They don't do these often, and when they do, they're always in like crazy weird colors, very random, because it's a kid, obviously. I give credit to Takara for trying to work within mold limitations to actually create the real thing. That's actually very commendable of them. There is one, however, it is done in this style, and it does exist, but I don't believe even Transformers at the Moon has this. And it is this. This is Galaxy Convoy in two-tone green and gold trim. If there is ever a perfect color scheme in my mind, my absolute favorite color scheme of anything is two-tone green and gold. This is my white whale. This is my holy grail of holy grails that I will never actually obtain, ever. I don't know how many exists, probably exceedingly few. Well, I can double check now, can't I? Oh, I enlarged the website. Didn't mean to do that. Yeah, one exists in the entire world. And I will never own it, and I will never see it. For all I know, the kid played with it and wrecked it. But nevertheless, it existed at some time, and you want to take my favorite Transformer of all time and put it in my favorite color scheme. Just to know this exists makes my life a little bit brighter, and then a little bit darker knowing I will never own it. So that, my friends, is the history of Lucky Draw Transformers. Haven't seen any done in a long, long time, but it is something of a lost facet of Transformers history. I wish they would do these more often, because they do present some incredible things for us collectors to talk about and pine over. But nevertheless, thank you for watching. I hope you learned something from this. I hope you learned about a very weird and lost side of Transformer collecting, and found out that no matter how hard an Amazon exclusive is to get, no matter how elusive a multi-pack figure seems to be, this means there's always something rarer. Guys, I am facing the most powerful enemy any YouTuber can face, the algorithm, and I need your help to defeat him. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment. Every time you do, we attack that algorithm and we drive it back until it can no longer defeat this channel. Thank you very much.